This is the lesson microbiology bacteria. In that bacteria, the lesson name is bacterial cell structure, lesson 22, second year botany. Good morning students. Today we would like to discuss about the topic, another topic in the chapter bacteria, that is bacterial cell structure. Already we have discussed very well about a bacterial cell structure in the first year botany. Here we are discussing about the main important variant components of bacterial cell. They are about flagellum and plasmids. Now got the point students? Okay. In the chapter, in the topic of chapter bacteria, the topic is bacterial cell structure. What is our today's topic? Bacterial cell structure. So now you all please put the subheading bacterial cell structure. Bacterial cell structure. Today's topic is bacterial cell structure. Before going to discuss about that two variant components of bacteria like flagellum and plasmids, we better to discuss to observe those microscopic and submicroscopic forms of bacteria. In detail information we gathered by a device and the invention of that device called electron microscope. The electron microscope inventions done from the year 1940s, and successfully they got a device like electron microscope in the year 1951-52. In the years of 1951-52, we have a complete designed electron microscope given to us by the scientists, two scientists, Knoll and Ruska. Already we discussed about this in the first year. So by the invention of electron microscope given by Knoll and Ruska, just that electron microscope given idea and reveal the microscopic and submicroscopic details of bacteria. Before that we have light microscope, compound microscope, all these are the microscopes are giving idea about the magnifies the size of the cells to visit the microorganisms, but ultrascopic structures are also revealed by electron microscope. So after the invention of electron microscope, we gathered some detailed structures which they are present very small, but they have very complex in function, very complex role they play in bacterial cells. Understood students? So let us know something about that particular bacterial cell structure, especially about flagellum and plasmids. What they given in the syllabus. See here, the bacterial cell structure, generally we are using a term that is bacteria have simple structure but a complex behavior. It is general word what we are using for bacteria. That complex behavior also done by the structures which they are present in bacteria. Now got the point? Those structures are microscopic and submicroscopic. Microscopic and submicroscopic structures of bacteria revealed by an extraordinary device An extraordinary device that is electron microscope. Electron microscope, what they started this invention of electron microscope from 1940s to finally they made a successful electron microscope in the year 1951 to 1952 by two scientists, you know, two scientists, Knoll and Ruska. You please remember, note down, Knoll and Ruska. These two are the scientists who invented a device like electron microscope which magnifies the thousands of times magnifies the microscopic cells or microorganisms, and it is very much a device to clearly give an idea about the internal components which they are present in the bacteria. So submicroscopic structures are also clearly shown to us, understood, as ultrascopic or ultra structure of bacteria we gathered. But now here we discuss about, so with the help of this device, scientists revealed microscopic and submicroscopic structures and their information, students. Understood? See here, in this chapter, or in this topic, chapter or in the topic, we discussed about two variant components, of bacterial cell, they are, in this syllabus we are going to discuss about these two only. They are flagellum. Flagellum is a word singular, flagella is a plural. Flagellum and plasmids. About plasmids we are discussing in this topic. Understand? So before going to discuss about flagellum and plasmids, we better to draw the simple structure of bacteria. I think you know, already we discussed very well about the prokaryotic cell or a model cell of prokaryota, that is bacterial cell, in the first year botany. So you please recollect the information, recollect the content of bacterial cell as a prokaryotic cell, as a typical prokaryotic cell, what we have studied, structurally and functional information what we gathered about bacteria, you please recollect. It is very much useful for understanding well about this topic. In that we focus the concentration flagellum and plasmids. So now in the particular simple structure of bacteria, what now we are going to drawing, just we focus seriously our concentration on those two parts, like two variant components which are not common in all the bacteria. These two are the structures are not common. Based on these two structures, we are also differentiate the bacteria into some other categories or groups. So these two are come under variant components in the bacterial cell. That variant components, how do they are going to be differentiated and what are the functions carried out, and what advantages given to the bacterial cell for their better survival in their respective habitat is the matter, is the right content what now we are discussing in this lecture. Now got the point. So students, you please focus your concentration and recollect the content of, you all please recollect recollect the content of prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. What is the prokaryotic cell? We discussed in the first year, that is about bacteria. So bacterial cell, you please remember. So prokaryotic cell, like bacteria, what we have learnt, in first year. Then now we are going to draw a simple structure of bacteria to discuss about those two variant components, in bacterial cells. Like what they are? Like flagellum and plasmids. Understood? In between these two, flagellum is a exterior or external compartment. It is situated in the external compartment of bacterial cell, but plasmids are situated in the inner compartment of bacterial cell. So in the syllabus we need to discuss about these two components which are not similar or common in all the bacteria which they are present in the environment, in the respective environment. Now you please draw the structure of bacteria or bacterial cell structure. Now you please put the subheading bacterial cell structure. Now you please draw the simple diagram of bacteria. How to draw the diagram in simple way? You please observe with the right attention, then it is very easy to draw the diagram. See, mostly we prefer to draw the bacterial cell mostly. What type of bacteria we draw? More available bacteria what we are using in the laboratory conditions for so many purposes is bacillus bacteria or rod shaped bacteria, you know. So that is more easy to draw here. Simple structure of bacteria, simple structure of bacterial cell, you please draw here. Draw very neat and clean diagram. Very neat and clean diagram is needed to draw here. Okay. This is we draw here. This is the first line. We are calling what? Cell membrane or plasma membrane. And above the side exterior to this cell membrane we have a layer, thick rigid layer which is giving protection and shape to the bacteria. Based on this layer only we are dividing, we are understanding that particular cell shape what it is. Particular cell shape what it is, that is we are calling cell wall. Already we have discussed in the previous lecture. This is cell wall, and above the side of the cell wall we have a gelatinous layer called layer which is present on above the side of the cell wall is called glycocalyx. So like that 3 layers are there here. These three layers from exterior to interior, what they are? This is glycocalyx. Already in the first year we learnt. You please note down one more time. Glycocalyx as the outermost layer which we seen in bacterial cell structure. The second layer it is called, what is the layer it is? Cell membrane or plasma membrane. What it is? Cell membrane. Cell membrane. It is not cell membrane, it is the second layer na. Okay, the outermost layer it is called glycocalyx. Okay, but now after the glycocalyx, which is the layer which like immediately inner side of the glycocalyx, it is cell wall. What it is, students? Cell wall. Sorry Nana, check once clearly. It is cell wall. Then inside the cell wall we have a innermost layer of bacterial cell called cell membrane. What it is? Cell membrane. Like this. These three are the layers. From exterior to interior we follow like this: glycocalyx, cell wall and cell membrane. Glycocalyx, cell wall and cell membrane. These three layers collectively called as cell envelope. Cell envelope of bacteria. Cell envelope. Cell envelope of bacteria is made up of or constituted by three layers from exterior to interior: glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane respectively in order. From interior to exterior: cell membrane, cell wall and glycocalyx. It is the order what we seen of different layers in the structure of bacterial cell. If you want to move from interior to exterior, innermost region, the layer it is called cell membrane. After that, on above the side of the cell membrane we have cell wall. On above the side of the cell wall we have glycocalyx. These three layers collectively called as cell envelope in the bacterial cell. Here we seen the cell membrane shows infoldings. These are called infoldings of cell membrane. These infoldings of cell membrane are called as mesosomes. Mesosomes, which are very much important for perform the process of binary fission, especially for respiration. It is the mesosome which is overtake the function of mitochondria. Here no cell organelles present in the bacteria, because bacterial cell is a prokaryotic cell. It is not eukaryota for showing all the cell organelles like mitochondria, lysosomes, Golgi apparatus, everything. Here we seen what it is. Mesosome is a infolding structure of plasma membrane which stores respiratory enzymes. Okay, these respiratory enzymes are catalyze the process of respiration. How mitochondria perform the process of respiration in the eukaryota. Okay, in the eukaryota the respiration done by mitochondria, but whereas in the prokaryota mitochondria absent due to absence of mitochondria, that activity done by mesosome. So equal function of mitochondria done in the bacteria is called mesosome. Now got the point? So after that, it has the main genetic material or main chromosomal material in the prokaryotic cell like bacteria called nucleoid like genetic material we seen. Nucleoid like genetic material, which it is the dsDNA mostly we seen, that dsDNA which is in the form of simple naked DNA. Okay, simple floating naked DNA we are observing, it is called genophore or main genetic material of bacteria. What here we seen here? See, this is the simple structure of genophore as a main genetic material. Main genetic material in bacteria, called what it is? Nucleoid like genetic material we seen called genophore. You please remember, students. What is the genetic material? The main chromosomal material present in the bacteria are called genophore. What it is? Genophore. It is a naked DNA, it doesn't have nuclear membrane. That's why it is not distinct nucleus. That's why it is the cell come under prokaryota. Understood? So nearby this main genetic material like genophore, we have extra circular self-replicated extra genetic material is in the form of a small circular dsDNA molecules we see. Here all these are the extra genetic material, a small circular dsDNA forms. It is called plasmids. So many are there, just you focus your concentration on these structures, because we are discussing about those structures like plasmids. Nearby the plasmids we are also observing some ribosomes are present. Ribosomes, where they are going to perform the process of protein synthesis. Some ribosomes, they are existed on a string like mRNA. What it is? mRNA. On mRNA, some ribosomes, they existed as a string like structure like mRNA. It is called polysome. You know very well, already we discussed polysome. Okay, but now we focus the concentration on these a small circular dsDNA molecules. A small, here you please note down, circular, what is the shape you are observing here? Circular dsDNA, extra chromosomal dsDNA, you please remember, extra chromosomal dsDNA molecules are called plasmids. Here we need to discuss about them. And also a common structure like a simple structure like bacteria, we are also observing some rigid, okay, a rod like structures called pili, which are very much important for the process of sexual reproduction like conjugation. Pili, through which they are going to transfer the extra chromosomal material like plasmids into another bacteria in which the plasmids are absent. To transfer the lack of plasmids in which bacteria we are observing are called F minus bacteria. So that F minus bacteria gain extra chromosomal dsDNA, which we are calling plasmids, from F plus bacteria. F plus means having plasmids, into lacking plasmids in which bacteria, these extra chromosomal DNA materials in the form of plasmids transferred through the structures called pili. That's why this pili also called as sex pili. This pili also called as sex pili. Now you got the point, students. Sex pili. Okay, also we seen some other small bristle like structures we are observing are called smooth structures, which they are very much important for giving a support, taking support from the objects or substrate from which they are getting right balance. Those are called fimbri. You know fimbri, everything we discussed in the first year, students. Now we focus our concentration on another variant component what we seen in some bacterial organisms, not commonly seen in all the organisms. That is we are calling, yes of course, it is the semi-liquid material which we seen here. It is called cytoplasm, cell plasm or cytoplasm. After that, here they are going to start from the cell membrane across the cell wall. Okay, cell wall, a structure is going to be developed and come out of the cell wall towards the outside. A long whip-like structure we are observing. A long whip-like structure or a long thread-like structure comes out. A filamentous cylindrical structure, a filamentous structure which come out of the bacteria for motility or movement. This is the structure we are calling what, students? Flagellum. You know already you discussed in the first year. Flagellum. What is the structure it is? Flagellum. So now here we are discussed about the very important variant components in the bacterial cell like plasmids and flagellum. Now you all please put the heading. First one, that is a discussion about flagellum. So what is flagellum? You know very well. The flagellum is a long cylindrical whip-like structure for motility. Motility means movement. Motility. For what purpose bacteria are going to be moved? The bacteria wants to move towards the favorable conditions or favorable environment. Favorable environment means the environment which contains more nutritive and more climatic conditions, favorable conditions for bacteria. So towards that environment, towards that favorable conditions, if the bacteria want to move, then this is a long thread-like cylindrical structure called flagellum is going to be vibrated, is going to be moved. Okay, up and down, the movement is very much useful for locomotion or movement from one place to another place, especially the bacteria which is living in the water. Understood? So in the water, this bacteria can move from one place to another place by the movements shown by or given by a long thread-like cylindrical whip-like structure called flagellum. With the flagellum giving movement like up and down movements are very much useful for move the bacteria along with the movements given by the flagellum. Now got the point? Then the bacteria can move towards the favorable environment, and move away from the adverse environment or harmful environment or unfavorable conditions. Understood? Whoever they may be, if here the climatic conditions are not cooperated, these conditions are unfavorable to all of us, then simply we are moving from this place to another place, in which place we feel normal conditions. In the same way, the bacteria wants to move from one place to another place. If they want to move towards the favorable conditions and away from the adverse conditions, then this is the structure like flagellum is very much useful for locomotion. Locomotion is in the sense movement or motility. Understood, students? So structure for motility from move bacteria, you note down, move bacteria from adverse environment to favorable environment. Note down, students, favorable environment. By movement taken by flagellum, then the cell structure, bacterial cell can easily to move towards the favorable conditions and move away from the adverse conditions. Okay, based on the number of the flagellum and based on the location of the flagellum, okay, what they are existed on the bacterial cell, we are dividing the bacteria also different types. So now we better to discuss about the types of bacteria based on the number of flagellum and arrangement of flagellum. Understood, students? Of course, whatever the flagellum number we seen, that based on that and position of the flagellum, which is giving right and appropriate feature for the locomotion, we are dividing this bacteria into some more types. Now we better to discuss about all the types of bacteria based on the number of flagellum and arrangement of flagellum on the bacterial cell structure. Now got the point? Okay, students? Okay, so now have a look into the bacterial cell which they are going to be arranged with flagella and their number and arrangement of flagella. Bacterial cell, here I am explaining, you please note down. Bacterial cell have 4 different four different arrangement of flagella. Arrangement of flagella. So here we better to discuss about all those four things. Okay, bacterial cell have four different arrangement of flagella we seen here. How many different types of arrangements of flagella we seen in the bacterial cell? That is four different arrangements. In that the first one is okay, monotrichous bacteria. First category of bacteria called monotrichous bacteria. Monotrichous bacteria. Here meaning mono means single. Here meaning of the term mono means single. Single. Here trichous means trichome means a cylindrical structure, hair-like structure, which is comes out of the or wave-like thread-like structure. That is we are calling what it is flagellum. Flagellum. We are generally calling as trichome, trichus. So single flagellum in which bacterium is seen means here the complete meaning of monotrichous is what it is, a single flagellum. A single flagellum is at one pole or one pole of bacterium or bacteria, in which bacteria we see in a single flagellum at one pole or at one point. That type of bacteria we are calling what? Monotrichous bacteria. Now you please draw the diagram of monotrichous bacteria. See here it is a what type of bacteria it is? There already we drew the diagram now. That bacteria is based on its shape. What type of bacteria it is? Bacillus, because it is a elongated cylindrical rod shaped bacteria. So here if it is a bacteria with only one long wave like movement from which we have taken by a long thread like structure called flagellum. How many flagellum we seen here? Here only one flagellum, right? Only one flagellum we seen in this bacteria. So this type of bacteria we are calling what ma? Monotrichous bacteria. You please draw the diagram. The next one is okay, amphitrichous bacteria. You please note down amphitrichous bacteria. Amphitrichous bacteria means here amphi means both. The meaning of amphi means both. Both the ends of bacteria. Both ends of bacteria. Both the ends of bacteria flagella are present. Flagella are present. Both the ends means here how many flagella are needed for existence of flagella at one point. At one point one flagella. So like the 2 points we seen. Understood? At both the points we have 2 flagella situated. So here 2 flagella. Note down students. 2 flagella are situated. 2 flagella are situated at both the points. At both the points. At each point we have only one flagellum. At each point we have only one flagellum. So like the 2 points are 2 different poles. One flagellum is going to be situated completely on one bacteria. We have 2 flagella. That type of arrangement of flagellum on bacteria are called amphitrichous bacteria. Now you please draw the diagram here. Suppose to see here, it is a cylindrical bacterium, Bacillus bacterium, which is going to possess two flagella, at both the points. This type of bacteria we are calling Amphitrichus bacteria. The third category, what it is? That is a Lophotrichus bacteria. Everything I think we discussed in the first year. Now one more time we better to recall them. What it is? Lophotrichus bacteria. Lophotrichus bacteria. Lopho means tuft or bunch. Lopho means tuft, more, like that meaning we are getting, or bunch. More than two flagella arose from a single point of bacterium. Okay, more than two flagella. More than two flagella are situated on one bacteria, or one bacterium, singular, on one bacterium, in which bacterium we seen from one point tuft of flagella arises. That type of arrangement and that type of bacteria are called Lophotrichus bacteria. Now you please draw the diagram like this. It is a cylindrical bacteria. From one point only, a large number of tuft of flagella, they are going to be arises. Tuft of flagella, they are going to be arises. Understand? Tuft of flagella, they existed. Now got the point, students? So this type of bacteria we are calling what? Lophotrichus bacteria. More number of flagella is produced from a single point. From a point, they are producing more number of flagella. This type of arrangement of bacteria we are calling what, Nana? Lophotrichus bacteria. Okay, that last one here I am writing, you please note down. Here I am going to write about the last type of bacteria based on their flagellar number and their arrangement on bacteria, that is Peritrichus bacteria. Peritrichus bacteria. Here peri means entire surface, like that. Peri means entire surface of cell. Entire surface of a cell. Which cell it is here? Bacterial cell. So that more number of flagella distributed over entire the bacterial cell. Now you please write here, that is entire surface of a cell distributed by a large number of flagella for giving locomotion in all the sides, from all the sides. Now got the point? Locomotion from all the sides. The structure of this particular type of bacteria is like this. Suppose to take, it is a bacterium which is commonly we are using Bacillus bacteria, or rod shaped bacteria. This type of bacterium, how it is going to be covered by a large number of flagella which they are distributed over entire surface of the bacterial cell like this. See, flagella, like that number of flagella they are going to be existed here. So like that the entire surface of the bacteria distributed by a large number of flagella. This type of bacteria we are calling peritrichous bacteria. You please note down, students. So like that 4 different types of arrangements of flagella we seen in the bacteria. Based on the arrangement of flagella in bacteria, we are dividing the bacteria of basically 4 types. They are monotrichous bacteria, a single polar flagellum we seen. Second one is amphitrichous bacteria, where we seen one flagellum is situated in one point. Like that in 2 points, from 2 points, 2 flagella are going to be existed on one bacterial cell, that is called amphitrichous. Both are existed on 2 different points. The next one is the lophotrichous bacteria, where bunch or tuft of flagella arises from a single point of a structure of a bacterial cell, that is lophotrichous. The next one is last one, peritrichous bacteria, where a large number of flagella are going to be situated or distributed on entire surface of the cell or entire body surface, cell surface of the bacteria, where we are observing flagella. That type of bacteria are called peritrichous bacteria. Okay, students, now we are going to discuss about another important variant components in the bacterial cells, that is plasmids and their importance. I think you know very well, but one more time we better to recall the importance of plasmids, how they are very much important for bacteria and as well as for humans for transferring or carrying the genetic material, desirable genetic material, what we are going to transfer through the vehicles like structures or carriers like or vectors like structures called plasmids. Okay, in the next after this what we call flagellum, now we are discuss about plasmids. Have a look into the plasmids, what it is. Okay, students, now we will discuss about plasmids. You know what is plasmids? Plasmids are also very important variant components among bacterial cells. All the bacterial cells are not conformed to show these extra chromosomal genetic materials or genetic molecules. Understood, as plasmids. Some are they have plasmids, some are not having plasmids. These plasmids are very much important for the bacteria in which they are present. Understand? The bacteria is going to get more benefited, like protection from the other bacteria or producing some enzymes, producing some toxins, and also very much important for maintaining genetic variabilities or genetically strengthened to divide the bacterial cells with some variables, the variable characters when they are maybe positive, then the bacterial cells are leading their life better. Understood? So they can easily to overcome adverse conditions by the presence of plasmids. So plasmids are the extra weapon in which bacteria they are present. Understood? So these plasmids are not commonly seen in all the bacteria, but most of the typical bacteria they are going to show these extra chromosomal circular dsDNA molecules, which we are calling plasmids. Understood? Now have a look into the plasmids, what actually they are. Right, students? So plasmids are extra chromosomal circular, their shape is circular in shape, circular and the DNA is dsDNA. dsDNA means double stranded DNA. Now got the point, students? So dsDNA molecules, dsDNA molecules addition to main chromosomal material, main chromosomal material which we are calling material of bacterial cell, that main chromosomal material which we are calling as genophore, you please remember, which is in the form of nucleoid form. So genophore, the main genetic material of bacteria as main chromosomal material which we are calling genophore. To the genophore, these are the additional chromosomal material add to it. They are also present along with the main chromosomal material of bacteria called genophore. Along with the genophore, some other circular extra chromosomal DNA, dsDNA molecules are present. Those are called plasmids. Understood? So this is a DNA molecules addition to main chromosomal material of bacteria. You please remember. Understand, students? In the bacteria already we drew the diagram, and in that diagram we have we made some circular structures which they are outside the genophore. They are present outside the genophore and present in the cytoplasm. Okay, no genetic material in the bacteria is not no genetic material in the bacteria is covered by membrane, you know, right? Okay, no genetic material is covered by nuclear membrane. They are naked. The main genetic material is called genophore. Nearby the genophore or out of the genophore or outside the genophore, we have additional extra chromosomal material which is in the small circular dsDNA molecules. Those are called plasmids. You please remember. Then what is the use of these plasmids to the bacteria? So these are the plasmids are very much useful to bacteria which they contain. How? These plasmids are very much give benefits to bacteria, give benefits to its bacteria, because all the bacteria does not have this type of extra chromosomal material like plasmids. Then the plasmids in which bacteria they are present, that bacteria is going to get some benefits which provided by the plasmids. That particular benefits are like this. These plasmids give protection from adverse environment by producing resistance to the adverse conditions, and also producing some toxins. Whatever the other bacteria is ready to kill this bacteria, then it is giving, these are the plasmids are going to release some toxins. These toxins kill others. Then it is benefit to survival of the bacteria which contains plasmids. Now got the point? So toxins are releases, and enzymes also they are producing. These are very, very important benefits. and also the plasmids in which bacteria they are present, those bacteria are able to follow to do the process of follow to show the factor, that is fertility factor. What it is? Fertility factor. Fertility factor means what it is? The plasmids in which bacteria they are present is able to transfer the genetic material into other bacteria for conducting process of sexual reproduction like conjugation. Sexual reproduction like conjugation, you know very well. Understood? The bacterial reproduction sexually by 3 ways, I think you know. They are conjugation, transformation, transduction. Okay, in the coming lectures we are discussing, of course. So in all these cases, the genetic material is going to be transferred from one region to another region. So the genetic material especially that is in the form of plasmids. So the bacteria which contains plasmids are also able to carry the genetic information from plasmid containing bacteria to the plasmid lacking bacteria. Understood? By which mode they are following, based on that only we are following the sexual mode of reproduction. The bacteria are of 3 types, that is conjugation, transformation, transduction. Through any either these 3 different modes of reproduction, sexual reproduction they follow, of course. So whatever it may be, the plasmids in which bacteria they are present, if they are going to carry extra genetic material for increase the fertility in the bacteria to enhance their population or proliferate their population. Understood? So it acts as a fertility factor. Those bacteria, that particular bacteria which possess plasmids which is able to perform the process of fertility are called, okay, fertility F plus bacteria. Those plasmids are called F plus plasmids. Now got the point? So all these are the advantages given by plasmids, and also these plasmids are very important for carries genetic material from one cell to another cell. Now got the point? These are the particular plasmids we are using in the form of vectors. Vectors are nothing but carriers. What they carries? Carriers. Vectors are nothing but carriers. They carries desirable genes. From one cell to another. It is the method or mode we follow. We are oftenly use these plasmids as vectors in modern genetic engineering technique. This will again we discussed in the chapter, okay, another chapter in the second year. So engineering technique. Okay students, so this is very important, in which we are going to use these particular vectors like plasmids for carries the genetic material from one organism to another organism, where we are using rapidly in the biotechnology. The topic of biotechnology later we will discuss. Understood? How we are using these plasmids as vectors for carries these genetic materials in the laboratory conditions. For producing more and more desirable genes for expression of required characters. Now got the point? So these plasmids are not harm anything to their bacteria in which they are present. It is also a very important point. So these plasmids are gained or lose. They are not harming to its bacteria, to its bacteria, because, note down students, note down, because plasmids are self-replicated or we manipulate them, manipulated in laboratory conditions. You please remember, in laboratory conditions or in the lab, we are going to multiply the number. Artificially we made them in the laboratory conditions for our advantages, for our purposeful things what we are producing, what new characters we are going to be incorporated into other organisms by sending them through the vectors like plasmids. So these plasmids are very, very important to the bacteria as extra genetic material which is going to show the variables for survival better in all the bacteria in which that plasmids are present. Now got the point? These plasmids are of different types of plasmids also we seen in the first year we discussed R plasmids, coal plasmids and sex plasmids. Many types of plasmids we seen R plasmids indicating what? They are very much important for resistance. They are giving resistance to the bacteria to extreme or adverse conditions. Or some other plasmids are coal plasmids because they are releasing a toxic substance called colicin by special plasmids in which bacteria they are present. That colicin is a toxic which kills others. So in which bacteria we are observing these type of plasmids are able to kill others for keep their cell safe side. Next one is sex plasmids. Sex plasmids are nothing but what it is? For increasing generations, for perform the process of sexual reproduction. These plasmids are play pivotal role in which bacteria these type of plasmids we are observing, those are going to be increase their population, increase their number by producing by transferring genetic material from one cell to another cell. That such kinds of plasmids are called S plasmids or sex plasmids. This is the information about plasmids, what they have their importance for improving or giving advantages to the bacterial cell in which they are present. Okay, so finally flagellum and plasmids are the two variant components among bacterial cells. So with this particular flagellum and plasmids, this lecture is finished. In the next lecture we are going to discuss about mode of nutrition or nutrition in bacteria. Okay, nutrition in bacteria. After that we go for reproduction in bacteria. After that we go for importance of bacteria to humans. Okay students, thank you very much.